boycotting Young Miami's new song, Spend That or Not. In case you're unaware, the rapper Young Miami recently released a song, Spend That. And a lot of people have a lot of feelings about it, and they're saying we should boycott this song because she used to date Diddy, supported him, even wrote one of those character letters things. But I call BS on that because a lot of people have supported a lot of predators and somehow their careers are just fine. But when it's black women, the bar is a lot higher. I'm not saying you're wrong to boycott her song based on that. I'm saying some other people who should be getting the same energy don't really get the same energy that you're giving Young Miami. So if you're gonna decide I'm gonna boycott everybody who supports predators, then you need to have the same energy for everybody. And we talked about this back in 2016 when K. Michelle was essentially canceled for singing at the inauguration. But here we are, some rappers attending the second inauguration, and somehow they're still fine. But with black women, the bar is always higher. Again, I'm not saying whether or not you should boycott. I'm pointing out the double standards. But I think the bigger issue with the Young Miami song isn't really whether she supported Diddy or not. I think it's with the song itself. If you haven't seen the video, it's at a strip club. There's a lot of twerking, a lot of, strip club activities. Of course, there's a lot of money, and she talks about, scamming men for money. And some people are saying, this is bad for a community, this is bad influence. But I think, well, for starters, it always seems that the problem men have with songs like this, or women who are strippers, OnlyFans, working girls, is that they benefit from said activities. They either are making money, they have their own agency, they're expressing themselves, they have control of whatever they're doing. That's what seems to bother men the most. Because if she would just support Diddy quietly, I don't think a lot of people they'll be like, well, she's standing by her man. A lot of men will be like, that's what a woman's supposed to do. But now that she's out here making her own money, people have a problem with it. And I say this because every single time a woman, particularly black female rappers, they put out sexy songs, money songs, respectability politics always comes up. These are bad role models. These are bad influence on the community. But the thing is, these are not the only influences in the community. There are other singers that don't do sexy songs or with strip clubs. There are other musicians. For instance, if you don't like Cardi B's WAP, No Name is a great alternative. Rhapsody, there are other alternatives. If you don't want your children or yourself influenced by musicians, rappers, first of all, keep the same energy for all genres and races of music. But if you don't want them influenced by music, there are other role models in our community. For instance, if you want to steer your child to be a lawyer, have her read Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's book. That's an influence. That's a person she can be influenced by. Teachers, historians, doctors. So a big part of the problem is that black entertainers, celebrities, they don't get to be just celebrities. They get they get assigned of being leaders or the greatest and only influence in our community, whereas we have so many other people that we could draw influences from, and also not the only one. For instance, if you're a black person trying to be a musician, Young Miami might be of influence to you. But if you're also thinking about, I don't know, becoming a social worker, you can enjoy her music, but maybe you'll be influenced about social work by somebody else. But it feels like within the black community, we're always pushed on to get everything from our celebrities. I see people bring up, well, Young Miami didn't speak out about issues or didn't do this. She's not an activist. She's not a politician. Wherever you live, Google your representative and whatever things you want Young Miami to say or do, tell it to your politicians. Okay, so we're conflating all of this, issues on this, usually on Black women, because it's not just, oh, this time Young Miami is being, people want to cancel her because she supported Diddy. Great. Because her music is too sexy. Okay. And then we have Chloe Bailey wanting to be canceled because her movie wasn't that great. And then we have Cardi B wanting to be canceled because she did this. Megan Thee Stallion because she did this. So there's always something when it comes to Black artists. Again, I am not saying you cannot boycott whatever artist for whatever reason. What I'm pointing out is the double standards when it comes to Black women. Because even if she hadn't supported Diddy, something else would have come up because it comes up for other Black artists. Okay? So while we're discussing this discourse, let's always keep that in mind when we're, I'm not saying Black female artists are above critique, but let's always remember to check our biases. Anyway, speaking of Black female musicians, this Black female musician has a new song called Bounce, which is critiquing the manosphere. So, go ahead, watch the video, listen to the song, and let me know, would you boycott my song or would you support it? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and follow.
Why you talking with no substance? Why you can't read even on Substack? You say men lead, if that's your stance. You need therapy, not a pod. Cause you ask what I bring to the table. Your ass think and you're broke. You ask but it can't do no chores. Your ass real damn gotta go. Bounce, 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 boy bye. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Bounce, 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 boy bye. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Bounce, 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 boy bye. Bounce, bounce, bounce.